So we've got all the fullbacks that, to be honest, are worth looking at, and there's a lot of them. Like, you think all of these are left back and right backs, left wing back and right wing backs, but you can only pick two. So narrowing it down, it will depend on what you prefer with a left back or right back. Do you like the overlap? Do you like them to stay back? Do you want them mixed into the centre mid? It depends on what you're looking for in terms of a left back, right back to start with. So we'll cover all bases from a kind of a fullback, somebody who's better at just the defending aspect, and then just the natural best option that you can get. Now, in terms of my personal favourite, and I think it's quite an easy pairing, to be honest. I think Teo is definitely putting himself as the left back, and I must admit, Frimpong is putting himself as the right back. I don't think there's any question. You could even go for the team of the year still if you're looking for just that little bit of change, to be honest. It's not a hard option for them to, because they are so above the rest in terms of rating as well. That's always a nice one. But in terms of play as well, if you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. When you look at the cost between both of them, you've obviously got 1 mil for Frimpong for now a team of the season, and then Teo's just under at 980. You've maxed out the pace on both. You've got a lovely defending increase. Now, yes, there is plenty of room for them to be increased even more, but the big thing for them, and I think it's now what football is in general, everybody's got to be good at everything. You've got to have an all-round gamer in most positions. We've seen it with centre-backs. They now sometimes need to be able to hold on to the ball, need to be able to make a 30-yard pass every now and then, or at least be comfortable on the ball rather than just oofing it up the field. So fullbacks most definitely, again, are another position that are evolving with the times, and we are finding more left mid left backs, and there is obviously cases of players that were that before, but definitely more so than anything, which is creating some absolute monsters like Teo and Frimpong. When we go a bit further down the list, obviously someone like a Maddison has to come down in rating a little bit, because we've got some of like these make your marks that are throwaway coins. Like, they are literally nothing. You've got good few of them, to be fair. You've got a lot of the kind of lower end stats. So when we look at them, Tyranny is an objective. I kind of wanted to go over Jan Kuto, but I think, and then you've got the two from the ladder. Like, you look at them in terms of actually in the squad, and they're going to be like the most of them. You look further down, you got 75,000, 24,000. You go into the other make your marks, because there's quite a few of them now. You've got 80, you've got, where's another one? 25, then we go into 25 again. They are so considerably cheap. But when you actually look at the ratings, like we look at this guy, 97 pace, fantastic. Most of them have pace. Anticipate, lovely. Bruiser, decent enough. And a rapid plus, never going to complain. Stats-wise, decent amount of dribbling, nothing crazy, but 88 on the defending, 93 physical, 84 passing. For 25,000 coins, when we look at the comparison between, say, for instance, them two, I really liked Maddison in-game, and I think there's always an in-game buffer that maybe some players have, some don't, but this is where the progression really hits it, because pace-wise, he's better, not too fussed about shooting. Passing, both 84, 90 versus 86 on the dribbling, it's fair enough. Then the 88 versus the 87 defending, and then the 93 physical versus the 85. The progression of even just the throwaway cards is crazy, and obviously the playstyle pluses matter massively to these cards as well. When we look at Tyranny, when we look at Bar as well, some of them don't necessarily have the number one playstyle pluses. Like, I've tried these two out, not a fan, to be honest. We mainly use them just for the season ladder, but in-game they just really didn't help at all. Whereas you do look at some of them, like, I must admit, the Arsenal guy, wasn't awful. Stats-wise, I was intrigued, but the 93 defender, 94 physical already, then the 92 dribbling on top. I thought you could get something out of him. Same with the German lad. The main thing with these are upgrades. Where are they actually going? Are they going to get something big? Are they playing? Are they not? It is all down to the upgrades with where these cards actually land. And most definitely, some of the team of the seasons now that you look at and think, well, they don't even have the stats. They don't have a decent playstyle plus or anything to actually offer to the left back or right back role in comparison to a 40,000 left back that you can get very, very comfortably. There is some big ones though. Capdevila finally getting himself a big upgrade. Absolutely love it. And I think he's 1 goal away. Is he 1 goal away? I'm pretty sure. What was Spain versus Croatia result? I thought, was it 3-1? It was 3-0, yeah. So he's 1 goal away from getting either a 99 face stat or another playstyle plus. We did get it with Ballack already, but his 1.2 mil is always looking fantastic at that 97. But like with Ballack, he managed to get the 4 goals, so he has got the upgrade alongside an extra playstyle plus. So hopefully they are going that route and giving more playstyle pluses than they are going for that 99 face. Because as much as I love Capdevila, I don't need any 99s. Like, dribbling would be nice, but it's not necessarily everything. His defending's already up there. Physical's as high as it's going to be. And even passing's not going to make that difference. So a playstyle plus, something like an anticipate, a slide tackle, an intercept, could be really, really good for the card. I do think Ferland Mendy will still keep himself up there. I'd imagine we probably will see something from him. His card now, and I must admit, in terms of fullbacks, prices other than the likes of Ferland Mendy are as down as ever, whereas 3.2 mil is crazy for him. But when you do look at predominantly most of the fullbacks, the prices are starting to just even out a little bit. Like, yes, you've got centre backs that can play right back. I'm not really going with them, to be honest. But when you look at Kyle Walker at 1.3, you've got Alfonso at 1.6. Ferland is the clear anomaly. You know full well that's because the actual weight of the packs was just non-existent. If we move in a little bit closer, you might be able to see. When you look at them like 3.2, 1.6, even Havertz at 1.3, I know he can play left back, but he's predominantly a centre mid in that version. You then got Capdevila at 1 mil, Carlos Alberto. When the team of the seasons that I consider the best are 1 mil, you know full well that the prices are absolutely on the low at the minute. Sakina, I think, is another easy one, same as Kyle Walker. The only thing when it comes to kind of fullbacks now, and it's very difficult to plan for this because there isn't really a way, is most of the running types are going to be controlled, explosive, mostly controlled. You may find a few that are lengthy, but with now a lot of people, and I've seen it quite a few times now, utilizing, say, like a Sorloth, a Drogba, wide, so they may not be a left mid or a left wing, but they're like striker, but kind of going against the fullback. Is over time they beat them on the pace because of the lengthy aspect if they get the run right. And even with the rapid plus and Walker's crazy amount of pace, he can get beat if you're not defending correctly. Again, if you've got any comments down below, if you want to kind of chip in with that debate, but it's very interesting to see the difference now. We're getting a lot of strikers with that controlled lengthy element that just means fullbacks are going to have to be a little bit better with that aspect of the body type. So it's an interesting one to see how we'll combat that in a few weeks, especially when Shapeshifter does come and we start seeing maybe some more centre backs that go striker, potentially another Czech. I doubt it very much, but it could be an option. If I was looking at a few more, love DeMarco and love Grimaldo. I think they are up there with the best of them. Grimaldo in himself is a left mid, but we know full well that he is going to be a left back. He's predominantly a fullback more than anything, but he's given himself a left mid so he can play left back, centre back, 450. Unfortunately, didn't get off to the greatest Euro start for him with kind of throwing it into the feet of the opponent, but we kind of move with that. They still managed to get the win. I'm pretty sure, I think it was it 2-1 or 3-1? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they got the win. But from the left back card, he's managed to get a little bit of an upgrade. Nothing too crazy, but still decent. It's got the jockey, the block, and the whipped pass. Again, he can potentially go up even more to a 98 98, I believe, if he gets a clean sheet or 2 clean sheets and then makes the 5 appearances, which I could see happening, to be honest. I don't think there's any doubt in that. So potentially a 98, and that's where it makes the Path to Glory that little bit better. Yan Kuto is an absolute baller. We loved his future star. Same as kind of Madison, like I said. He is an absolute baller when it is, and it's not a Euro card. The Copa America, the 530. You've obviously got the flair. You let it slide. Quick step, pinged pass, and intercept. It's coming in at 500,000 coins with a 4-4. It's got the ability to go up as well. It is a make your mark card, is it? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I was going to say, I know he didn't get a Path to Glory. It's 98 pace, 95 on the dribbling. Even this card, like, when you look at the difference, it's a 5 upgrade. 3 on the pace is fair enough. 7 passing, decent. Only 2 dribbling, which is good. 6 defending, 5 physical. He was already a very good card, and even though he's normally a silver card, he's still got a very good body type to actually see through, and that's a massive upgrade. To get to this 95 with the potential of another double upgrade if he does manage to start. I don't know whether he does, who's starting for Brazil, but we will find out after the 21st when they do have their first match. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think he is absolutely up the top there with me. Now we look at a few others. We've obviously got Alphonso Davies. To be fair, Grimaldo and Yan Kuto could possibly come down, but I think these are the top of the top in my opinion. I'd go Davies up there. I'd even go Cancelo up there. Cancelo is so consistent when it comes to it. He's just a perfect card. He was relatively cheap when coming in. Now he's coming in at a whopping 300. I just think he's a very, very good card getting in there. I don't know if, can the 95? Yeah. The 95, if you have gone in red and still got the FUT Champions free, or the Champions Corner, you could make him a 96 as well. It's not necessarily the biggest upgrade in the world, but it's another flex onto that 96. Davies, on the other hand, has got another card on top of his many, many cards. It's unbelievable. He's had the flashback. He's had, obviously, the Team of the Season moments, as well as the Thunderstruck. But now we're into a Path to Glory. Yeah, Path to Glory. So there's a potential, if Canada were to do it, I believe you'd get 1, 2, 3... Is it 3 or 4 upgrades? So that'd make him a 98. I'm pretty sure he'd be a 98. 96 level would be a 99. But because he hasn't got the 5-5, he'd be a 98 rather than a 99. Then a 99 because he'd end up with the 5-5 as well. So brilliant card in itself. Potentially could go up. Again, I don't really follow the Copa America too much, especially knowing the ins and outs of each of the teams. So it's just one of them. We then also have got Battle. We've got Olga, very good team of the seasons. The same as Charles as well, if I can find her. She's so consistent when it comes to it. Now, there's always arguments when you look at these low-rated cards because putting them either in the A+ or the S, there's arguments that maybe you'd prefer Battle. You'd prefer kind of going with Tyranny over them. Now, when I've played with them in-game, I like these better, personally. That's just it. I think maybe you could go with a German guy up there. I think the rest are just a little bit more lackluster in my opinion. Sakina can obviously go into the top because she can follow her 97. Still unbelievable. Body type is absolutely nuts. When we're looking at the rest of them, I've got two Charles apparently. We'll just keep her there. We then have Klaus, very easy option in my opinion. Same as Wan-Bissaka, I thought he was a great SBC that you could do. And then we kind of further down into a few of the oldies but goldies. I think Reece James now is slowly coming under. It just is what it is. Progression just gets up with him. Lahm would be there as well. Zanetti as a fullback is just not my style personally. Whereas Bompastor and Lizarazu were phenomenal as kind of their first upgrades with Fantasy. Once they got to their final rating of what they were going to be, they were brilliant. Now, slowly coming out of the progression, we are waiting for another upgrade. And I'm hoping we do get another... It doesn't have to be great to the game's heroes, but at least another set of heroes soon, because we've got like 3 weeks left of the promo, or 2 to, I think it's 3 to 4 weeks, give or take, depending on the timing of the Euro final. But I don't really want to wait that long for heroes. I'm hoping what we'll get is like kind of we get the make your marks week 2, then maybe either they give heroes and icons with them, or during the rest of the Euros, because they're not going to introduce more people, they start with the hero and icons there maybe. I think that would be quite a nice. Doesn't even have to be live cards, but at least just more heroes, because I'd like to see more of these in every position. We only got like 5 heroes. There is a lot more to go through. Zambrotta is always going to be an S. Carlos Alberto will always be an S+. I've got 2 of them as well, especially with Carfu as well. When it comes to Roberto Carlos and Cole, I think they are slowly coming down as well, especially in the left-back role. I think maybe Carlos could be pushed up, but definitely with Cole, I think he's still good, but not necessarily on that level. Zanetti, other than Zanetti's versions obviously go in there. Mukiele, love him as a right back. I think he was a great upgrade that you could have gone with, especially with a showdown. I think the SBC itself really wasn't that expensive. If then you'd managed to do the upgrade into the showdown boost, you'd have got him to 92 with a decent stat upgrade. I don't think there's really too much complaining going on there, because the rapid plus into the whipped pass is absolutely stunning for him. I do think when we look at the kind of the rest of them, Nuno Mendes is coming in here. I'd say Carvajal would go in. Batcher or Baka would definitely go into the S. I think a low S, I think her 90 card at the time was more impressive than the team of the season. And I think that just goes down to the fact we have a lot of good team of the seasons. Vasquez was an easy SBC. I think there's not really too many arguments there. He was a cracking live upgrade. Estepina, very good on the kind of cheaper side of stuff, but now we are starting to see the kind of the increases of cards. He's just not going to keep up, unfortunately. Klaus and Ben White would go into the A+. Wendell, really liked Wendell. I thought he was a very, very good card for the price that you were paying. He just had that ability to push forward, as well as then have that defensive streak in him with an anchor that really, really kind of worked for him. Rolfo. Now, I've not seen her in a while. To be fair, I think she probably is on the lower end of stuff now. But when you kind of look at the stats, and I'm like, she's still a very team of the season to path to glory orientated stats. Like, that's really, really good for the price that we paid during Fantasy. Granted, she did manage to get the absolute motherload of upgrades, which was just, it fell into the right place anyway. But the card itself isn't that bad still. Now, in terms of fullback, I personally liked her in the centre mid more, and I do think there's better centre mids that you can get in every single league, but she still could put up a little bit of a performance. If it wasn't for the rest of them being here, maybe I'd go A+, but as a fullback, I thought she was okay. I just preferred her in that centre mid role. We have McCabe, she's definitely at the bottom, unfortunately. Tavernier puts himself in a very medium to high A+. We have got the flashback as well. When we look at the stats on her, not bad whatsoever. She's a 94 for 123,000 coins. Stats across the board for defending. Great pace, great passing, great dribbling, great defending, decent physical. Now, you'd probably be looking at something like an anchor for her. Max out the pace pretty much as you can. 95 defending, 91 physical. She's got herself the anticipate, jockey and rapid. Only thing she's missing is a whipped pass. I would definitely put her as a 10 out of 10 for an SBC. But in terms of actually playing, I'd go more S if I'm being brutal with her. We have Teze. I'd probably go more of an A+ now. And same with Thiago, who is very much the same as a Nuno Mendes. Nothing really too much different than just opposite sides. Very pace orientated. And Charles will kind of stay down there. Now, when it comes to... Okay, that's not going to work. When it comes to the overall of these, I think the S pluses are a constant. Now, you could argue between going up with kind of like your Anya, going up one, maybe then kind of potentially some of these Path to Glories going up one more. But I think the big difference when it comes to a lot of the team of the seasons, especially when you look at the star-studded lineup, the one thing I've found, and especially when you look at players from nations we don't play with anymore, we only have one bar card or one of this German left back. That is the reason. Like there is a big reason why we don't see them as better as they are, because we have multiple Teos all year round, multiple Frimpongs, multiple Mendes, multiple kind of Grimaldos, Davises. They're all in the game because they just consistently go with progression, and their in-game is just going to be better. Maybe Mukiele could go at one more, but I do think now everybody would have probably upgraded their cards to somebody a little bit better. If it's not a Cancelo playing right back, a kind of, I'm trying to think, who do even I have at right back? I have Carl Walker. So, I mean, it's kind of at that point now where everybody's got a top-end card, it seems. And if not, you're getting them in the season objective. I think, is Klaus one of them eventually? He comes in... Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he was an objective rather than an SBC. So you're going to get him, and that already puts that level of a bar. When you look at him, into Relentless, Anticipate, Whipped Pass, already maxed out pace, defending physical, looking decent enough. People are going with the Backbone for him. That will obviously give him Controlled Explosive, 95, 94. You could go with that, and obviously a bit of physicality. You're looking at a 96 right back off just a free objective. That's going to be better than most of the cheap cards that you can get, and will give you just that a bit of advantage, to be honest. And that's kind of where the teams are. It's not necessarily now about getting the best team, because you just get them given to you by the end of it. So you might as well go with at least good enough, and then you can kind of go through and eventually we'll get like the 85 times 10, the 86 times 15, and you'll just keep grinding that to get all of the team of the seasons, all of the footies, and you'll just have a 99 team by the end of it. So make sure you are having fun with the game. These are just the meta options. You could still do a lot of evolutions that are at a decent level, to be honest, and you can absolutely slap it no matter who you've got. But apart from that, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.